it is day 13. It's Tuesday, February 4th. And for your do now, we are identifying the slope and the y-intercept of each of these equations below. Now, before we get started here, let's make a little note on our paper. And remember the two different types of equations that we have here. Because yesterday we just worked with equations in standard form. You guys remember what standard form means? A, B, C. Yes, it's the one where we're using A, B, and C. So I'm going to write that standard form equation out at the top just to have a reference point. So standard, I'll zoom in so y'all can actually read. Is that A X, where A is some number, plus B, and what letter goes with B? Y. Y. Good. Where B is some number, equals C. And down here, where we see a little note for slope and y-intercept, the capital A, B, and C, that's coming from standard form equations. So for slope, we've got that negative A over B. And for the y-intercept, we have C over B. Now, slope, using standard form equations, is the one that I noticed the most people struggled with, because that one can be a little tricky. So I'll make sure that we go over that in depth today. We'll do some review on that. So we've got standard form equations. And then does anybody remember what the other type of equation is called? Yes, slope-intercept form. So let's also make a note of that type of equation up here. So we call that one slope. I'm gonna throw this one away. Need to give me some new pins. They're starting to die on me. Slope-intercept. And slope-intercept, I kind of like this one because it's very straightforward. It's slope-intercept because that's the two letters they're giving you. They're giving you a letter that tells you slope, and they're giving you a letter that tells you the intercept, the y-intercept. Does anybody remember what that equation is written as? Say it again. B. Not C. There is a B in there at the end, the plus B. Y equals mx plus B. Yes! Y equals M, where M is the slope. So down here we have that labeled. Slope is M. X plus B, where B is the y-intercept. So what I think is really nice about slope-intercept form is we don't have to do any funky plugging numbers in, rearranging. I can just look at the equation and say, okay, that's the slope, that's the y-intercept, done. So I think most people can agree slope-intercept is a lot easier to work with. But it is good to know how to work with standards well, because it does exist. So there's our little guide. And now we're going to look at some of our problems. So for each of these, 1 through 8, I wanted you to look at the equation. And I think our first step would be to decide, is this equation in standard form or is it in slope-intercept form? Then we're going to decide what the slope is and what the y-intercept is. So before I move down to number 1, does anyone still need this note, or is anyone still writing? Want me to wait a minute? Okay, I'm going to take that as we are ready. So for number 1, I have y equals 3x minus 5. Is this standard or slope-intercept? Slope-intercept, good. So I'm just going to label that slope-int. You don't have to, but I am. So let's start with our slope. What's our slope? We have y equals
3/1.
Ah, how'd you know the slope was going to be 3/1?
Because you have a 1 when there's no.
Yeah. So in our slope-intercept form, remember we've got y equals mx plus b. This one says y equals 3x minus 5. So instead of m, we have a 3. Our 3 gives us our slope. So you could just say the slope is 3, or to make it easier for graphing purposes, we like to have our slope in the form of a fraction, and any whole number, to turn it into a fraction, you just write it over the number 1. So 3 or 3/1. Both are correct. Okay, so we've got our slope. What would our y-intercept be?
-5.
-5. Good. So if we have minus a number, it will be a negative intercept. If it said plus a number, then it would be positive. So since it's -5 at the end, that's where our b is. Our y-intercept is -5. Good. Any questions about number 1? Okay, let's go ahead to number 2. I have y equals -2/3 x plus 4. What form is this equation in? Slope, yes, slope-intercept. Slope-intercept. Okay. So what is our slope here? Good, the number next to x. This is where m would be. So our slope is -2/3. Just on to it. Instead of rewriting it, I didn't give myself a ton of room there. Okay, and what's our y-intercept? 4, good. Is in our equation. So slope-intercept form is pretty straightforward. You see the number, that's your answer. Now let's move on to some more difficult ones. This is what we were working on yesterday. So number 3, I've got 3x plus 2y equals 10. What form is this equation in? Standard, good. This is in standard form. So because it's in standard form, we don't have an m or a b or a little b. We have capital A, capital B, and capital C. So let's identify those first. What are my values for A, B, and C in this equation?
3A.
3 is A.
2B.
2 is B.
C10.
C is 10. Good. All right, so we know what our A is 3, our B is 2, our C is 10, and that just came straight from the equation. And now let's refer back up to the top of our page. I wrote slope can be m, which is what we use in the slope-intercept form, or for standard form, it's -a over b. So which two numbers are we going to use?
A.
Yep, A and B, so 3 and 2. So let's write slope. Yes, it would. So what I think I noticed most of us on that exit ticket yesterday, or I don't want to say most, but many of us, the slope was getting us very confused because remembering to make that a negative and not the b, and then if it started with a negative, what do you do with that? I think I have a way to make it slightly less confusing today. For slope, I want you to remember that it's just a over b. So we've got 3 over 2. Don't worry about the fact that a is negative. Just think, okay, I'm writing a over b, and the whole thing is a negative slope. We're just going to make the whole thing a different sign. So slope, it's like you put your numbers in, a over b, and then you make it negative. So don't worry about a specifically being the one that's negative. Just remember that slope becomes the opposite sign. Slope is opposite. So we've got negative 3 over 2 for our slope. Now, how do we find our y-intercept?
C over B.
Yes, we're going to use that other formula that I wrote up here, c over b. So c over b, which numbers are we using?
10 and 2.
Yeah, 10 and 2. So our y-intercept is 10 divided by 2, which is what? 5. Good. So our y-intercept is 5. Awesome. Do we have any questions about number 3?
Don't we need to do something with the slope?
In what way? The 1 and 2.
We did yesterday? Or is that something different?
Are you?
She thinks it can't be simplified.
Oh, okay. So let's see.
I don't remember. Ignore me.
No, you're okay. I don't want to ignore you.
She talked about
But-
when we simplified it, but that one can't be simplified.
Okay. Is that what you mean, Lisa? Like whenever we have a fraction, like making sure that it's simplified?
Yeah.
Or okay. So
I mean, don't we do that or don't we not?
we do if it needs to be simplified, just like the y-intercept was 10 over 2, and we actually simplified it to 5. Now the 3 over 2, well, we can't really simplify that because I can't divide 3 and 2 by the same number and get a whole number answer. It's going to give us a decimal, so we're just going to keep it as 3 over 2. Okay. Any other questions on number 3? Okay, can we go to number 4? Going to 4. What form is this equation in?
Standard.
Standard. Good. Now, this one's got a bunch of negatives. I have negative 5x minus 10y equals negative 20. Let's figure out our values for A, B, and C. What's our A?
Negative 5.
Good. Negative 5. What's our B?
Negative.
Negative 10. What's our C?
Negative.
Negative 20. Okay, so we have a bunch of negative numbers here. So we need to remember our rules for what happens when we divide a negative by a negative, because we're going to be dividing here. When I put A or A over B and C over B, when we put a number over another number, it's division that's happening. So let's make a little note to the side. Just want to review our negative rules. So if I have, let's see. Let's say I have, let me get a red and a green. If I have a negative number over a negative number, what happens to the sign of this number as a whole? A negative divided by a negative. What does that give me? A positive or a negative? A positive. These negatives end up canceling out. So because they have the same sign, our answer becomes positive. Okay. What if I have, let me do this actually. I don't want to write positive over positive. I want to do it this way. Sorry, guys. I'm trying to think on my toes and I shouldn't do that. Okay, so we have a negative divided by a negative. Like I said, and that gives us a positive. I'm just going to write it as 1 positive. Okay. What if I have a negative over a positive? It's a negative because our signs are different. When the signs are different, we get a negative answer. And what about if it were flip-flopped? Like if I had a positive over a negative? It's still negative. What if I had a positive over a positive? It's positive. So we can remember same signs equals positive. Different signs is negative. So this is just a quick little reminder. There's something to remind us.
They look like faces.
Kind of does. I turn to a sign, like little aliens. That's funny. Okay, so let's use this information and look at number 4. And I'm just gonna kind of squish this over a little bit so we can see it. And let's start with slope.
Positive 5 over negative 10.
Let's see, we have slope, yes, negative a over b. So our a is negative 5, our b is negative 10. You are correct that a, because we're doing negative a, it is going to become a positive 5 over negative 10. Now,
simplify it to positive 1 over negative 2.
oh, yes. Now, I'm actually going to write the process out because you obviously know this and it is amazing. And you're able to like do the little steps in your head. I'm going to write out what happened there because you are correct. Let me make a little sticky note. We're just breaking it down today. So, I'm going to do this. Sorry, guys. Moving this here. So, our slope, I want to show you a different way of thinking of it so that you don't have to think like, okay, I have negative 5, but I'm doing negative a, so it's positive 5 over negative 10. But since I have a positive over a negative, it's actually a negative slope. And that's like a lot to carry in your head. So here's a simpler way to think of it. Slope is, just think of it as a over b. Whatever you get for a over b, you're going to make that answer negative. So if my slope is a over b, but negative, a is negative 5, b is negative 10. So let's plug in a and b first. So we have negative 5 over negative 10, and I'll put it in parentheses. And just know that I'm going to make it negative. Now, using the order of operations, we're going to do what's in parentheses first, right? So, what is negative 5 divided by negative 10? Positive. Yeah, let's do that. These negatives cancel. Now we haven't used the outside negative yet. I have positive 5 over positive 10 because the negatives cancel. And then I know I'm going to make my answer negative. Okay? And we can simplify 5 over 10, right?
Mhm.
We can divide 5 divided by 5. We can do 10 divided by 5. And what is that going to simplify to?
1/2.
1/2. So there's 1/2. But since it's slope, it's negative 1/2. So I think it might make it easier to just think of, let's find A over B first. Let's solve it all out. And then whatever we get for our answer, just make it negative. If we get a negative answer, we just make it positive. We're just doing the opposite, whatever we end up with. So what is our slope? So we got, we got positive 1/2 for A over B. And then what's negative A over B?
Positive 5 over negative 10.
Let's see.
I'm sorry.
That's okay.
5 over 10.
Yes. So we ended up with that negative 5 over 10, which simplified to negative 1/2. So our slope is negative 1/2. Negative 1/2. And if it's feeling like a lot, don't worry, we're going to do lots more of this today. So here's what happened. We did a negative 5 over negative 10 because that's A over B. But slope is negative A over B. We're just going to do A over B first. So negative 5 over negative 10, which simplifies to positive 5 over positive 10, which simplifies to positive 1 over 2. But then we just make it negative at the end instead of trying to figure out the negatives from the start.
So it don't matter. It still got to go back to negative.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Okay. I'm hoping that is not a worse explanation. If I confused you guys, we're gonna figure it out today.
No, I just thought you change it once.
Right. So we actually are only changing it once at the end. The reason that it changed here wasn't because we were like, okay, we're making it negative because it's slope. It was because we had a negative number over a negative number. And just because of math rules, that simplifies into a positive 5 over 10. And maybe I shouldn't be writing that negative on the outside.
Yeah, because wouldn't that mess it up if you're graphing it? Because we would need -2 and then +1.
Let's see. So whether you have a -1 and a +2 or a -2 and a +1, you actually will get the same graph. You will, because it either means you're going down. I'll give an example. It means you're either going down 1 over 2 to the right, or it means you're going up 1 over 2 to the left. And no matter what, it will fall on the same line. It'll just be finding your line in a different direction. So it's different methods.
I see what you're saying, because once you get your 5 over negative 10, and you break that down, it's opposite signs you have to make it a negative.
Right. And let me ask you guys this. -1 divided by +2, is it the same thing as 1 divided by -2? Is that the same? It is. This is the exact same number. It really is. And I'll prove it to you. Watch this. Negative 1 divided by 2, negative 0.5. 1 divided by negative 2, negative 0.5. It's the same number. It really is, I promise. And if you see it on a graph, gosh, would it help for me to show you it on a graph? Do you guys want to see what that would look like, the difference? No. All right, you're done with me. I get it. I'll quit. I get it. I'll quit while I'm behind. Okay, let's look at the y-intercept. Okay, what is our y-intercept?
Negative 20.
Go ahead.
Negative 20 over negative 10
Perfect. Negative 20 over negative 10
equals positive 2.
equals positive 2. Good. Very good. Those negatives canceled. Any questions about number 4? Or have I just lost you guys?
No, I see what you're doing.
Okay. If I have lost you, just I guess pretend nothing just happened, and we'll figure it out. We'll figure it out. This will be a positive 2 because a negative divided by a negative is a positive. Those negatives cancel. Yeah. Okay, I'm gonna explain it better on the next one. I swear. I thought I was doing something, but you know, I get humbled. Okay, anybody still need to see number 4? Or can we go to 5? Okay, let's go to 5. Yeah. No, what's up? You need to still see it.
Okay, so
Yeah.
on the on number 3, right?
Yes.
You got negative. Okay, negative 3, 2.
And that's because slope is negative a over b, and a is 3, but we need negative a. So we do 3 over 2, and then we make it negative.
Okay.
So our slope is a over b, and then we put a negative sign on it.
Okay.
Yeah. And this is something that many of us, it's confusing. Slope is the hardest part of standard form. So if this is the first time you're seeing it, don't be stressed if you're, if it's not quite clicking yet, it will. It will. We're going to do lots of practice. And I think sometimes in math, the only way to feel good about doing a skill is to do it over and over and over and over and over and over until it's like, all right, I got this. You got to drill it sometimes. So we will get there. Let's look at number 5. Is this in standard form or slope-intercept form? See.
Standard.
Oh, yeah, this one's tricky because I don't see numbers on my X or my Y. Guys, what does that mean if there's not a number on a variable?
It's a 1.
It's a 1. So since I have negative X, the number that's attached to X, it's invisible. It's just a negative 1. You can write it in if it helps. Same with minus Y. It's really minus 1Y. And this is in standard form. So let's start by identifying our A, B, and C. What is the number for A? Good, negative 1. What's the number for B? 1.
Negative 1.
Negative 1. Good. What's C? 6. Okay. So, first let's look at slope. And without using numbers, remind me using letters. What is the slope? Just using letters.
Negative A.
Negative A over B. So, negative A over B. So, what is A?
Negative 1.
A is negative 1. So, what's negative A? Positive 1. So we drop the negative since we want the opposite A. So instead of negative 1, because that's A, negative A is positive 1. And what's our B? Negative 1. So this could be our answer. 1 over negative 1. It could also be negative 1 over positive 1. It could also just be whole number negative 1. All of those are correct. All of those are correct. Okay? And whether you like it or not, I'm going to show you why that works on a graph. You can pout about it, but I'm doing it. Because I think it's going to help. I do. If you don't want to see the graph, just look away. Oh, look at this. Look at this. I think it's cool. Whatever. So if I have a graph, I'm just going to draw a rough example. Okay. And I've got 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Okay. So before okay, let's not worry about the y-intercept. I'm just going to start at 0, 0. I'm going to pretend I don't know the y-intercept, and I'm going to say the slope that we just found was 1 over negative 1, right? I'm going to prove to you that it's the same thing as negative 1 over positive 1. So we have positive 1 over negative 1. And then I'm also going to show you the slope, negative 1 over positive 1. So when using slope, why is it good to write it in fraction form?
Find your rise.
Yes, yes. So remember, when we are using slope, we are thinking of it as a rise, or how far up or down we need to go on the y-axis over whatever the bottom number is. That's our run, either how far to the left or the right we go. If our rise is positive, which it is in this case, we go up. If our run is negative, what direction do we go? Left instead of right. Now, for the other slope, I have a negative rise. So do I go up or down? Down. And my run is positive, left or right? Right. So let me show you how these are the same. Okay? If you don't believe me, you really should look, because I'm about to show you. So let's start with positive 1 over negative 1. My rise is 1, so I'm going to go up 1. My run is negative 1, so I'm going to the left 1. And here is my second point. Now let's go back to the start and use the other slope I showed you. Our rise is negative 1, so I go down 1. My run is positive 1, so I go to the right 1. And guys, come on, look at this. Connecting the dots. These lines are on the same, these dots are on the same line. Guys, it's the same slope. See that? Doesn't matter if the top number is negative and the bottom number is positive. It doesn't matter if you flip-flop it. As long as one is positive and one is negative, you're going to get the correct line. Okay? I can make the bottom negative, but if I do, I need to remember to go to the left instead. I can make the top negative, the rise, but then I need to go to the right when I run. Okay? Does that make sense? Okay, awesome. I know you didn't want to see that, but I had to. So our slope is negative 1. What's our y-intercept?
6 over negative 1.
Yes. Y-intercept that's C over B. So 6 over -1. And how could we simplify that and write it as a whole number? -6. Very good. Very good. Okay, any questions on number 5? Any questions at all? You ready for number 6? Okay, let's go to number 6. What form is this equation in?
Standard.
Also standard. Good. Okay, so what is my values for A, B, and C?
1,
Mm-hmm.
1, and -3.
Good. We have 1x, 1y, -3. That's our A, B, and C. Good. Okay, so our slope will be -a over b. So what is a? +1. So what would -a be? -1. Good. So -1 over, what's b? 1. -1 over 1. Perfect.
I thought you wasn't flipping.
Flip it. What you mean?
I thought, well, since the 8 is positive, then
Uh-huh.
you have to turn it.
We did. So a was +1, and we wanted -a, so I made it -1. Yeah. Oh, did you just see it wrong?
It's just that Amy messing me up.
It's okay. That's okay. So -1 over +1. There we go. That's our slope. And our y-intercept, we're using C over B. So what numbers?
-3.
Perfect. -3
1.
over 1, which would be what? -3. Very good. Very good. Okay. Everybody got that one? Okay, let's look at number 7. So number 7, I have y equals 3x plus 4. What form is this equation in?
Slope.
Aha, slope intercept. Good, so we have y equals mx plus b. So our slope, what's the letter we look for slope?
X.
We do look for, yes, the number next to x. And what is that number replacing? What's the variable that was there instead of 3? M, yeah. So we can say slope would be m, and m equals 3. Or how could I write that as a fraction?
3 over 1.
Good, 3 over 1. Perfect. And remember not to include x in your answer. We don't want to say the slope is 3x. The slope is 3 or 3 over 1. And what letter in our equation, or what variable, gives us our y-intercept? 4, yes. Yes, 4. And it's B. Good. It's just good to keep that in mind because we will be using those M and B later on. So it's good to start getting those in your head. So 4. Very good. Okay. Any questions on number 7? Okay. Let's look at number 8. Threw you a curveball with this one. Wanted to see who could figure it out. Somebody tell me, first of all, is this slope-intercept or standard? Slope-intercept, that's right. Anytime it starts with y equals, you can assume it's probably in slope-intercept form. Now, what's weird about number 8? Yeah, you don't see a y-intercept here because I don't have a plus b or a minus b. There's no number there for b. What does that mean?
0.
0. Good. If there is no number written for b, we can assume it's plus 0, because if 0 is the number for b, you wouldn't write negative 2x plus 0. You would just say negative 2x. We don't write plus 0 in our equations. We just leave it out. So if there's nothing there, our y-intercept is 0. And how about slope? Yes. That's going to be this negative 2, and as a fraction in negative 2 over 1. Very good. Very, very good. Ah, we did it. We made it through. It only took us like an hour and a half. And that's okay. Okay. I want to ask you guys, now that we've gone through 8 of these examples, I want you to kind of look through the page and tell me, take a moment. Tell me, out of all of the things that we're doing here, what part scared you the most about doing it on your own? What part are we feeling the least confident in?
Changing them minuses and pluses.
The minuses and the
I have a
pluses.
good idea.
Yeah, please.
So like the regular problems, right? That's what I showed her. So instead of like just looking at it, they can take the subtract, like say it's 3x, subtract 3x and put it at the other end
Right here.
and then cross it off.
Can you tell me which number you're looking at?
So number 3, 3x
Number-
plus 2y.
Yes.
So subtract 3x,
Mm-hmm.
cross that out, and then move it to the end. But don't have it crossed out, and then put a over that. Then they automatically know that negative 3 is going to be a.
Right.
And that'll help.
So, okay, how about this? And maybe I assumed, I made an assumption whenever I first taught this, because last time I taught Algebra 1, I noticed everybody liked the shortcut of saying, okay, let's just do the negative a over b and let's do c over b, rather than rearranging the equation. I wonder if maybe it was presumptuous of me to assume that you guys would be the same way. Maybe we could look at the rearranging method and it might make more sense to you guys. Because I only showed you how to rearrange using letters. We didn't look at it with numbers. Would you guys be open to maybe looking at that method too? And just, we can use all the same problems here and just see how we get the same answers. Because it might make more sense to see where this is coming from rather than just being like, well, slope is negative a over b because that's what Taylor told me, Okay, I'm actually gonna do that. So let's start a page of notes. I know, I'm sorry guys. I'm gonna let you go here soon for a break. I know. I feel like y'all are mad at me today. No, I feel it. It's like daggers.
That might be
Yeah.
I got some coffee.
Okay, so this is Algebra 1, Unit 2. Now, I do want to preface this by saying, if you like just identifying A, B, and C, and you like just plugging those in to get your answers, keep doing that. If I show you this method and you think, oh, that is so much harder, don't do it. You don't have to do it this way.
Method from yesterday.
Yes,
I don't wanna
yes.
do it.
If you don't want to do it, don't do it. I will not make you do it a certain way. The beauty of math is you can solve many problems using so many different methods and still get the right answer. And everyone is different and likes to do things differently. So, I don't think it's fair for me to only show you one way because I might show you this and you might think, oh, that makes sense. Or you might say that's insane and I'm never going to do it. So, this is page 1. Label this and stay 13. No, this.
Today the 4th already.
Yes, it's already the 4th. It's insane. Going so fast. Tuesday, February 4th.
You can do it.
So I'm going to title this Finding Slope and y-intercept, but I'm going to abbreviate it y-int. And then I'm just going to write standard form. And this is I'll call it the rearranging method. Okay, so for example, I am going to rewrite number 3 from our do now. And that is 3x plus 2y equals 10. So what we're doing is we are going to convert this equation from standard form to slope-intercept form. Because when you have an equation in slope-intercept form, there's no work to do. You can just look at it and say, okay, well, the number next to x is my slope. The number at the end is my y-intercept. So we are going from ax plus by equals c, and we're going to transform it into y equals x plus c over b. This is what it's going to turn into. I'll show you. It's going to become y equals mx plus b. So we want to get this equation into a version of itself where I have y equals at the beginning by itself. So if I want to have y equals to start this equation, that means I need to get rid of the 3x and I need to get rid of the 2. So we're going to start by getting rid of the 3x. And to do that, we will subtract 3x from this side of the equation. And whatever I do on one side of the equal sign, I've got to do it to the other as well. So minus 3x over here. Okay. So what happens over on this side of the equation? 3x minus 3x. They cancel out. So I'm going to cross it off. And what should I do next?
3x from the 10, negative 3 from the 10.
Yeah, perfect. So are these like terms, 10 and minus 3x? No, so they're not going to get combined, but they're going to go right beside each other. So when I bring everything down, here's what I'll do. I'm going to bring down 2y equals negative 3x plus 10. Okay? So that was step 1. Subtract ax from both sides, which in this case was 3x. Oh, step 1. We subtracted ax from both sides of the problem. And now we're left with 2y equals negative 3x plus 10. So we got rid of the 3x. What else do I need to get rid of to get y equals, make y by itself? We need to get rid of that 2. So I have 2 times y. What do I need to do to get rid of that multiplication? Divide it. Good. So for step 2, we're going to divide everything by the number attached to y, or our b. In this case, it's 2. We're going to divide by 2. And that means we also need to divide everything on the other side by 2. Step 2, divide everything b. In this case, b is the number next to y. Say to get y by itself. Okay. So I have divided everything by 2. What happens on the side of the equation that was originally 2y? What happens to the 2's? They cancel. 2 divided by 2 is 1. And if I have 1y, I don't need to write the 1. It's just y. So my 2's cancel, and I'll bring down my y equals, and guys, look at that. I've got it down to y equals. That's what we wanted. And what do I do next?
3 to 2.
Yeah, I've got negative 3 over 2, or 3 divided by 2. So negative 3 over 2, x, plus, what's 10 divided by 2?
5.
5. And look at that. Now, my equation is written as y equals mx plus b. So once it's in this form, I can very easily look and see what's my slope, what's my y-intercept. It's there now. It's right there. My m is the number next to x, my slope. My b, my y-intercept, is the number at the end, plus 5. So we can even look back to number 3 here. That's the answer we got. We got negative 3 over 2 and 5. Negative 3 over 2 and 5. So this is another way to do it. We can just rearrange the equation. Now, again, the last time I taught Algebra 1, nobody liked this method for some reason. I do like this method, but what do you guys think? Does this make more sense?
It makes sense, but it's just too many steps.
It is a lot of steps. This takes a long time.
Or you can just label the top. If you have a brain like mine, 3x, that's A, 2y, that's B.
right?
That's C. And then minus 3x, and then move it to the end and just put an arrow that, 3x at the end is negative 3x now.
Right. But then what if you forget to divide everything by 2? I know me personally, like it might.
They would all be labeled already. So
Right.
A, B, and C already labeled. But
Right.
then you subtract or add whichever step you're going to have to and move it to the end.
Right.
And then you're already going to know that your X is A.
Right. No, I think that works great too. And here, why don't I show that to everybody because that might be a faster way and it might make more sense. So let me rewrite it and I want you to tell me exactly what you just said in case it helps somebody. I love it when you guys share the ways that you do things because it really does you guys help each other a lot. So if I have 3x plus 2y equals 10, what did you say you did to solve this out?
Label all of them, so 3xa.
Okay, so you would put like A, like this, just above it.
Yeah.
Okay, A, B, C.
Okay, and then subtract 3x.
Okay, so minus 3x.
And then move it to the end next to the 10.
You just like draw an arrow?
Yeah.
Okay, so arrow like that.
Mm-hmm. And
Okay.
then put minus 3x.
Minus 3x.
And then cross out the 2 in the front.
Okay.
And then you already know that your A is at the end now.
Okay, so I just remember that my A is negative 3.
Yeah, and then write out the sides your A, B, and C's. But instead of putting a positive 3, you're going to go.
And then you can just think, okay, I know now my slope is A over B.
Mm-hmm.
And my A is negative 3 now.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. And you know what? This works. Absolutely. Because I'm going to get the same answer, negative 3 over 2. That's right. Well, cool. I appreciate you sharing that because this, might be a method that somebody else really finds helpful. And then you still have your C over B, 10 over 2, which gives you 5. That's a perfectly valid way of doing it. And what you guys will discover is I show you specific ways to do things, but you're going to find there are so many ways to solve all of these problems. And if any of you ever do find a way that works for you, like I love it when you share those methods with me because it helps me as a teacher, but it really helps your classmates too. So thank you for sharing that. Love it. Okay. It is almost 10:30. So I'm stuttering over my words over here. Let's take a break. And since we're breaking a little bit later, let's say we'll be back by 10:45. And we're gonna drill this today. Make sure that we all feel great about finding the slope and the y-intercept, because if we can do that, we can graph. Okay, we gotta know how to find the slope and y-intercept, then we can graph. Okay, so take a break. I'll be back at 10:45. You guys can stay, you guys can go, but I'll see you in a bit. Pause, and we are back. So that was page 1 on our notes. I'm gonna go ahead and tear this out and start another page. I'm gonna just label my paper. 1, 2. Day 13. You get your stuff? I didn't have it.
No, I got it.
Oh, good.
I just gave that page a phone.
That's okay. We literally just got started. I'm just titling my page. 13. Two. Okay. Honestly, I think I have an idea that's going to make this easier. Instead of listing out A, B, C, we're never using just plain A, is what I'm realizing. I think it might be more helpful to just, from the get-go, label negative A, B, C. Let's try it that way, and you guys tell me if that makes more sense. So, here's just more examples. I mean, we are drilling today. Drilling until we feel good. So, let's do y equals 8. So from the get-go, what I'm going to have you do is instead of labeling A, B, C, we are going to decide what is negative A, and then what's B, and what's C. So here's my A, here's my B, and here's my C. What's negative A?
2.
What's negative A?
-2.
Negative 2, good. Negative 2, what's B?
-4.
Negative 4, what's C?
8.
8. Okay, now I already have my negative A. So slope is negative A over B, right? Negative A over B. So what numbers do I plug in for slope?
-2 over 4.
Negative 2 over negative 4. And what happens to negative 2 over negative 4? What's the sign become? Positive. I have a negative divided by a negative. That becomes positive 2 over 4. Can I simplify it?
1/2.
1/2. Good. I would accept 2 over 4 though, that's fine. Say slope is 1. And it's positive. And our y-intercept, what letters do we use for y-intercept?
C and B.
C and B. So C over B. What's my C and what's my B?
8 over -4.
8 over -4. And what's 8 divided by -4? 2. -2. Good. -2 is my y-intercept. Okay. So I wrote that a little more organized. That's a little all over the place. Sorry, guys. Okay, let's do another one. Let's try -2x minus 6y equals 12. And from the get-go, I'm going to write A, B, C, but we're going to list negative A, then B, then C. So I'm going to do it to this side this time. Negative A, B, C. Okay. See, A is -2. What's negative A? Positive 2. Good. What's B? -6. What's C? 12. Good. So, for slope, we're using negative A over B. So what numbers am I putting in? 2
-6.
over -6. Can I simplify?
Yeah.
What would it simplify to?
1 over -3.
Good. 1 over -3. You could also do -1 over 3. Either works. Both are correct. Okay. What letters do we use for y-intercept again? Perfect. C over B, 12 over B is -6. What's 12 divided by -6?
-2.
-2. Good. Perfect. Perfect, perfect, perfect. Okay, let's try -x plus 3y equals 9. We'll label A, B, C. And then we're going to find -A, B, and C. What's -A?
-1.
A is -1. So what's negative A? +1. Good. 1. What's our B?
3.
3. What's our C?
9.
9. Okay, so now let's do slope. And again, that's always -A over B. What numbers do I plug in for -A over B?
All the 3.
Good. +1 over 3. And y-intercept.
I mean, C over.
Yes, and you said 9. That's correct. 9 over
3.
3.
3.
3. 9 divided by 3 is 3. Good. Does it make it a little easier to be listing -A from the get-go? I think personally it feels like it makes more sense, but I also feel like I've shown you so many things that I might be confusing you more, and I hope that's not the case. So, you
This
know.
way and the last way. This way and the first method.
Okay, good deal. Good deal. All right, let's do one more, and then I'm going to have you guys try some on your own. Let's do -5 equals. Here's a tricky one. 0. -5x minus y equals 0. So I'm just going to write A, B, C on top. And let's find -A, B, and C. What is -A? +5. Good. A is -5, so -A is +5. We're doing a little flip-flop here. You could also think of it like this. It's like I'm taking my first term, which is -5x. I'm taking that -5 down, and then I'm taking the sign away from it and putting it over here on the A. Just like moving it over. I don't know. So 5, what's B? -1. Good. We have -y, so -1. And what's C? 0. So let's find slope. -A over B. What's -A and what's B?
5 over 1.
5
-1.
over, good, -1. Good. And we can keep that as it is. Or if you like this better, you can do -5 over +1. As long as you have one positive and one negative, the same number. Okay, both are correct. Either one I'll take. Let's do y-intercept C over B. What's my C over B? What's my y-intercept?
0. And then
0 over -1.
0.
0. If you leave it as 0 over -1, it will be counted wrong. If you have 0 at the top, if you divide 0 by anything, it's 0. It is 0. So your y-intercept in this case is 0. And that's allowed. You can have a y-intercept of 0.
You can't, I mean, I know it's zeros, but you don't supposed to put your negative sign on it.
So 0 is a very special number. It is the only number that cannot be positive or negative. It is just the absolute middle point of the number line. So you don't put a negative sign on 0, or else that doesn't exist. Just 0. But that's a great question. Yeah, we don't put negative sign on 0. Okay. Okay. I'm going to give you a few to try on your own. Before that, do we have any questions about all of this? I know it's been a lot today.
Only.
I know. You're doing great, though. You are. You guys are doing really good. It's tough stuff. Okay. Can I move this? I'm going to move it. So I'm going to give you some to try on your own. Just a couple. We'll look at them together. We're going to try something else. Okay, so let's see. Label my page again. Day. Now. So I'm just labeling it as practice problems. You don't have to do that. Okay. So I want you to find slope y-intercept for each of these. Just gonna give you 4 right now, just a couple. Just 4. You're just finding your slope and your y-intercept. Okay, and I'm gonna pause this video. I'll give you about 10 minutes to do that, and I will be around if you have questions, and then we'll look at them together. Okay, so let's look at number 1. How do we find our slope?
-8.
Yeah, we're going to be using negative a over b. So what's regular a?
-10.
It's negative 10. So if regular a is negative 10, what is negative a? Positive 10. Good. And what's our b?
2.
2. So 10 over 2. Can we simplify?
Yes.
We can. So just a quick review on that. I'm going to divide 10 divided by 2 and 2 divided by 2.
Could you, yeah, it's not.
Oh, sorry, guys. I thought that I unfroze it. My bad. There we go. Okay. So I did 10 divided by 2 and 2 divided by 2. What's 10 divided by 2?
5.
5. 2 divided by 2.
1.
1. So our slope is 5 over 1. Very, very nice.
What you do?
Okay. Let's look at the y-intercept now. Y-intercept, we're using c over b. So what's our c?
20. -20.
Negative 20. Good. Over, what's our b?
2.
2.
Simplified.
Yeah, and what's negative 20 divided by 2?
-10.
Negative 10. Very good. Very, very good. All right, let's look at number 2. Now, do we have any, I always forget, do we have any questions about number 1? Okay, let's look at number 2 then. Slope. We're using negative a over b. What's our regular a? Just plain old a. 3. So what's negative a?
-3.
Negative 3. Good. What's b?
9.
9. So we'll just put 9. I've got negative 3 over 9. What does that simplify to?
-1 over 3.
Perfect. Negative 1 over 3. We're divided by 3 here. Negative 3 divided by 3 is negative 1. 9 divided by 3 is 3. There's our slope. Okay. Now let's look at our y-intercept. We're using c over b. What's our c?
18.
18. What's our b?
9.
9. Perfect. What's 18 divided by 9?
2.
2. That's y-intercept. Any questions on number 2? You guys getting these answers right? That's
Yep.
good. Okay, let's look at number 3. Let's find our slope first. We're using negative a over b. What's regular a?
-1.
1.
Negative 1. So what's negative a? Positive 1. Good. What's our b?
12.
12. So 1 over 12. Can we simplify that?
No.
Nope. It's done. Perfect. 1 over 12. That's our slope. And now let's do our y-intercept. We're using c over b. What's our c?
0.
0. And shortcut, you'll eventually learn to recognize anytime you have an equation that's equal to 0, like this, your y-intercept is automatically gonna be 0. But just for the fun of it, what's our b? 12. What's 0 divided by 12? 0. Our y-intercept is 0. Good. Okay, last one. Slope again. Negative a over b. What's regular a?
+1.
Positive 1. So what's negative a?
-1.
Negative 1. What's our b?
-1.
Negative 1. Okay. What's negative 1 over negative 1?
+1.
Good. Those negatives cancel. Ding, ding. Positive 1 over 1. There's our slope. 1 over 1. Okay. Now let's look at our y-intercept. Again, c over b. What's our c? C is 1. And what's our b? Negative 1. What's 1 divided by negative 1? Negative 1. Good. Okay, from the beginning of class to now, do we feel slightly better? Hopefully a little bit better. I think you guys are doing really good. Really. This is great. This is tough stuff and you're getting it. You're getting it. Okay, I feel like I've tortured you all today though. So we're gonna get you out a little early. I am gonna go ahead and create the exit ticket for y'all right in front of you. If you want to wait for the copy, I will make copies like always. So when I, bring them back in here, just let me know if you'd like one. But just like always, this is due on Friday at noon. This is the day 13 exit ticket. And giving you guys lots of time to do it today. If you finish it before you go and you want me to grade it real quick, I can do that for you. That way you can try to make your corrections as soon as possible if you have any corrections to make. I'm going to go ahead and just write the due date up there. Friday, February 7th. Stop your name. Okay. So very similar to what we had yesterday. We are going to be finding the slope the y-intercept each equation. The first question I will ask you is not a problem. I'm going to give you an actual question. What is the formula for slope in a standard form equation? Your second question. What is the formula? I'm sure you can guess. For y-intercept. Standard form equation. That not so blurry. Okay. And then you identify, like the directions say, the slope and y-intercept for the equations I'm writing. I'm going to leave this up for you guys to see, and I will make copies. I'll make enough for everyone, and when I come back, you just let me know if you do want one of those copies. And you guys have plenty of time to do this. We don't actually get out until 55, so you've got like 25 minutes, almost 30 minutes. I'm sure you'll be able to finish this pretty quickly. So, be right back again. I really need a copy machine in here. Anybody want? Okay. Copy? No, you're good? Okay. Perfect. Awesome. Here you go. You want to tear that out and put it on my desk, I'll grade it for you as soon as I pass these out. You want a copy or are you writing it? Oh, girl, you're awesome. You got that all written down. Do you want a copy? Okay, perfect. Lisa, do you want a copy? Okay. Here we go. Hey, you ladies over here, you guys want copies? Okay. Jenny and Mother, here if you want one.
Yeah, good.
Perfect. Yes, if you haven't finished, you can give it to me up at my desk and I will grade it for you before you leave. That way you can just know right away. Thank you. And here, I'm gonna, oh good, it's still frozen. Thank you.
But I just want to have you.
Perfect. Looks good. Thank you.
Stay home.
Yeah. And I've got yours ready. Very nice job. You're welcome.
These are our folders, right?
Yes, those are yours to keep now.
Hang on to it, and my notes.
We're all done. Yes. Crystal, I've got yours. This is one that's anything. And if you fix it and give it back to me, I'll fix your grade as well. I got yours ready. Alright, there you go. You are good to go. Yes, ma'am. Very nice.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Yours ready? You are good to go, girl.
Thank you.
Absolutely. Have a good day.
You too.
I will.
Who's screaming now? It's Joel. Oh, I was gonna say, who's screaming out there? It was scaring me at first.
So,
Tell me.
this is a placeholder. I'm getting the real ring today.
Oh,
So
okay.
excited. It's gonna be like a little bit smaller. This is like a $20 one off Amazon. It's gonna be like my travel ring.
Yeah.
It
My
wasn't
daughter
right
does
in
that.
time,
My
but
daughter, she don't wear
yes.
no jewelry on the airplane.
But
Yeah.
oh my gosh, you're gonna die. I have to show you this.
Okay.
You're gonna die when you see what he did.
Go
It
ahead.
gave me a heart attack.
Go ahead.
Right. Do you have a question or are y'all done?
I'm not done.
Alrighty.
Let's see.
Yes. Okay. Ooh, okay, so this one, y-intercept. What you wrote here is
You're
the
fine.
slope-intercept equation form. That's right. But I want to know how you find y-intercept here, which we've got the negative a over b. We're using a, b, and c. So remember, we find slope using negative a over b. What did you use to find y-intercept? Like used, this is A, B, and C. So you did n over C over over C divided by B. That's our y-intercept. Oh, that's okay. So C just picks it up. Oh, negative A over B. Right? This one is C. On my phone because I gotta tell you this, Jenny. I think you're gonna die.
Okay.
You're gonna die.
He's
I
so,
died.
he's so romantic.
It was not romantic.
Oh, it wasn't romantic.
No. It was something else. Okay, let me see. I gotta ping my phone. Well, it's in here.
I think I put it up here.
Really?
Here.
Oh.
Oh, that's where I heard it.
I think you're right. That's so bad. Oh, this is my pocket.
Did you make it?
No, I didn't. I don't know how to do that stitch. So we went and got that too. I got this one. And it looks all messed up right now because it's healing under the bandage, so the ink is
Oh, you
bleeding.
got Band-Aid on there?
But yes, it's an olive branch. That's a sign of God's peace in my life, and I love that. So this is what he did, and I was about to kill him.
Your name on it, Daddy. I am
When I tell you,
I
I was about to slap him across the face. Now,
If
I
you know
thought-
y'all gotta stay married.
I thought he tattooed this face.
Oh.
He pranked me, thank God. If he would have
Yeah,
actually
because-
tattooed that,
You never know what the future's gonna hold.
no. I was like, what is wrong with you? I know. It's so him though. It's like, of course. Right.
Y'all are too much.
I know.
I'm gonna go around when y'all get married so I can come.
You will be invited. All right, Missy, I'm looking at the rest of yours. Yes. 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 Okay, that's 100%.
I think I have to end it because, yeah.
Yeah, we're
Yeah.
just using the last number C
And
over
then
the second one B.
Edit that.
Yeah, good.
Uh,
That's perfect. All right, let me give this back to you. This is yours to keep. Put that in the great
do I need to put that in?
Yes, that'll be yours to keep. It'll be considered like notes, so you can look back at it anytime you take a quiz. Unless, of course, you just don't want to keep it. That's up to you.
Okay.
Look at yours now, Lisa.
No,
Yes.
no. Did it hurt?
The tattoo?
No. You should stop to me.
No, but she cracks me up. I'm sorry.
Because I kind of heard it.
I know.
That made me a little like, whoa.
I know. That's giddy for you.
I would be scared. I'm kind of scared. That was a little.
Oh, you redid your day 12 also. Okay, let me look at that.
I think I did. I don't know if I did. I think we have to go somewhere.
All right, Lisa, I'm gonna show you something on.
I knew it.
That's okay. No, your slope. Let's see.
Yeah.
That's correct. That's correct. That's correct. And that's correct. However, when I'm asking you for formula, that's okay. What I'm asking you for, the slope formula, I'm just talking about like and then the y-intercept, like how you found this. Oh my lord. I need that. So I love that you did write a negative A on that, which is great. But tell me the negative A over B and the C over B and
I gotta look that up now.
that's okay. That's okay.
Brain doesn't work.
And then I'll look at your day 12. And
I don't know. Oh my gosh. I really don't want to go out there.
I know that's so overstimulating.
Well, plus there's a lady who's saints, and I'm just like,
Two saints. Interesting.
saints there.
Interesting.
So, okay. So basically, it's this right here.
What's this right here? Tell me.
Negative A
Yep.
over B.
Perfect. That's it.
On the bottom, it's C over
Yes. See over what? I interrupted you. Sorry.
C over B.
Perfect. Awesome. Squares. Yeah, we got squares. All right.
I think that's how you do it. I said I think.
100% A plus. Okay, now let's look at your day 12 again. And I am actually just gonna give you a fresh copy because I feel like you're looking at your old exit ticket and it's getting you backwards. So let me.
Knew it.
It's okay. It's okay.
Remember home. Want to skip science and I'm skip the whole.
Okay, so here's a fresh one. All right. So we're finding slope first. So what's your A, B, and C in that number one? Perfect. Oh. Wow. It's a -1. So perfect. Use 1. Let's see. 2. Okay, so A is -1. Now, this is A over B. What is negative A over B?
Switch them.
B stays the same. We're not ever changing B, just A. Okay, I'll circle that one. Circle. Okay, now y-intercept. What are we using for that? Which actually, you don't need to redo that one. You had that right. It's 2. Perfect. Circle it. Okay, ABC for number 2.
3.
Mm-hmm.
6.
Mm-hmm. Perfect. And slow.
3. 6.
So remember, we only change it. Perfect. -0.6, circle it. Beautiful. Y-intercept. You got that one right first time. Beautiful. Circle it. These will be good. Out of 10, 100%. Okay, I got about 10 minutes to give you my undivided attention. What can I help you with? Okay, well, you know what I mean. I'm here to help. I know you do. Okay, let me change your grade in this book before I forget.
Yeah, and then you'd be like, what did I put in it?
Here we go. All right. So, how can I help?
So basically, on this guide that he has, it says you need a 3D of 8 layers of proof.
Okay.
If I'm not wrong.
Perfect. Right. And then complete description of all 8 layers.
So I was thinking,
Okay. Okay. And then, like, are you saying, like, you would, like,
yeah.
oh, the, yes. This
After
has a,
but I didn't know if I needed like add this. Cause it's supposed to be 8, but on what I have, it says 9. Cause on here, oh, right here.
yeah, some brushes, some tacky glue. It's, I always forget allergy has all these things.
It has 9.
Okay.
Lines.
Do you remember which of them you guys did or didn't talk about?
They did not talk about this one
Okay.
or this one. Upside down.
Upper mantle.
No, I don't remember talking, but I do remember talking about core
Yeah.
and core and
First.
I might have talked about this one.
Honestly, if it were me doing it, just wanting like descriptions of them. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Oh, that's only 7. That's can't. Oh, here we go. On the 8 layers of the earth. Okay, crust, lithosphere, hemisphere, upper mantle, lower mantle, outer core, inner core. Mesosphere.
Yeah, mesosphere is like one class.
So mesosphere is what? That's my question. No, I don't have mesosphere.
I mean, it's mesosphere like something special. I don't know, maybe that's not.
These are not in order though. I don't know.
Put on the picture that I looked at, because this is kind of what I'm doing. That is that, and message here, I don't know.
That is a. Now, I think if it were me doing it, I would find a photo like this that you want to copy, and I would just like kind of be drawing on that little cone and just trying to make it match the picture. And
Cause I was gonna do it on the board, but I was like, nah,
Yeah.
this is the board, so.
and that could be like your crust with like the grass and stuff. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I feel like you've got a good game plan going. Let me ask you this. Would you want you know, use my hot glue gun so that they're like immediately stuck together? You don't have to wait for the glue to dry. I'm offered it.
Yeah, I would stay on.
Okay.
Someone in my hand, I did that. I think it is, I don't want, I think it's, but I need to put two of these.
It's a really big question. I don't know. Okay, I'll get you my hot glue gun.
I want to like try to get this done before.
Okay, or at least get an idea of what's going on.
And I have done so much research last night.
Mm,
It was like about 12 o'clock. And my mom's like, you gotta go to bed. You got work in school. And I said, yep, fine. My mom thinks so.
Okay, so I'm giving you the last of what I have hot glue wise, because I gave Trisha all my hot glue sticks.
Got that. So pretty.
Okay. Which
Because I know that like on her guide, it says you can pick one. Don't want to take my test.
Right, I mean, I definitely would rather do this than a test personally.
I'd rather get it worked on so I can like start painting it, because I need to paint it too. I mean,
It's easy.
maybe.
So that's heating up. You're welcome to use it. I have the glue that's in it, and I have one more stick. I hope not.
So I did that yesterday. Oh my God, I looked at you like, you're right. Yeah, well, you're no.
Okay, we got that. Let's see, what else would we need? Your brain.
That is outside. If you go. Well, I ran all the way to Dollar Store and back, and I was
Oh,
like,
yeah?
I
wonder if you would find any use. I have a bunch of popsicle sticks. I don't know if you would want to use them for like labeling the layers or something.
My plan is to use my Cricut
Oh,
to laminate.
yeah, that's a way better idea.
To I'm making a mess of.
Do you need colored paper or anything?
I have paper and stuff at home.
Okay,
But I was gonna type it all out and then cut it. into
that's a good
layers.
idea.
So I think that's what I'm gonna do during class.
Hi Kelly,
How
how you doing? Good. Would you like your copy of the practice quiz from yesterday?
Sure.
Okay, I've got one in your folder. And the video from that is uploaded. We're taking the quiz today, and if I don't know what your class schedule is like, depending on if you'll be able to do the practice quiz before, I would always suggest do it before. So if you are not able to take the quiz today, that's fine. Do it a different day.
I should be able
But
to.
okay,
Yeah.
cool. Sounds good. Well, copy should be in your folder.
I'll grab it.
See.
Sprinkles.
There you go.
There.
All right. I need to go and eat my lunch. But you are welcome to stay in here. I would not want to be doing that out in the commons area. So just take it as a sanctuary. And before I go, actually, I need to put these exit tickets in folders because I'm not going to do it if I don't do it right now. Perfect. Good. I know hot glue is like my favorite. It's so good. I know.
So we
Nothing
have
better.
one at home that's, you don't have to plug it in.
I need one like that.
My mom got it at Walmart.
Really? Was it expensive?
No,
That's nice.
it wasn't.
I need one bad. I got that one a couple years ago, and I really like it, but I hate that the cord is so short. I feel like I'm always getting it tangled on stuff. Gold? Yes.
I'm supposed to get it tangled.
I know. Tried to.
See, my thing is, right here, it's supposed to be brown, kind of. I don't know, brown, I have cream.
Mm.
And it's supposed to be like, wish these had like arrows.
Right.
So you move it. I watched so many YouTube videos last night on my God.
Oh, yeah.
Some of them were like Indian people. Not being,
No, Lisa, I know you're not racist. I know you.
Vehicle, the one, Fred's full is low. It's every motor's gearing.